Good afternoon, viewers. Once again, Amitava Biswas from Sunetra Family Eye Care Center, Kolkata, with our patient education series on a weekly basis, usually on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. And today we have a very hot topic about nutrition and immunity, which is so relevant, especially during this pandemic times when everybody you meet talks about what they're eating or drinking to improve immunity. For today's talk, we have with us a very experienced nutritionist who also happens to be my guide for my own nutrition for the past few years. Give me a moment. I would probably like to introduce her with a graphic slide. Okay. So like I said, this is Patient Education Series episode number 41. And our speaker for the day is senior dietitian Mayanka Singhal. She holds a master's degree in foods and nutrition. She has more than 12 years of experience in the field in diet management as well as in diabetes education. The impressive thing about her is that she believes that diet is the way of life and not a prescription to follow for a short duration to achieve a short-term goal. She suggests diets as per the health condition, the regional diet pattern, seasonal availability of food, and personal choice of an individual. So it's not a set chart that she recommends to everybody. Her approach makes it easy for a person to adopt the diet pattern which is sustainable and effective over a long term. With these few words, I welcome you all to meet senior dietitian Mayanka Singhal, and welcome Mayanka. So nice and
Thank
happy to
you.
have you on the show.
Good evening, and thank you so much. Thank you so much, Doctor, for having me. Thank you, viewers, and thank you, Sunitra family, for making me part of this show and making me part of this family. I'm so glad to be amongst you all, and I hope I'll be able to provide you with good guidance and help as to the best of my knowledge.
Yeah. So would you like to start talking on your topic for the day,
Yes.
Mayanka?
So today we'll be talking something related to which is the very hot topic these days, which is hashtag immunity. Everybody is talking about immunity. Suddenly, it has become the talk of the town, and no one who would even know how to spell immunity is now talking about immunity. Earlier, we would get more patients on telling us how to reduce the weight, but now it is more on how to improve the immunity and looking at the trends going on the social media. And when I talk to people, the way that people are doing bizarre things to improve their immunity, uh, I thought that it is suitable to let me come upfront and discuss this to all of you and tell you some myths that are going around about immunity, that if you are following it, you might be even harming your immunity rather than building them up. So I'll just share my screen and share the presentation with you all. Yeah. So that my company's name is Health Junction. As doctor has already introduced these are my credentials. And so I'll straight away hit to the topic that like right now there are many health chronic diseases which are prevalent, which we were dealing, I mean, which we were talking about earlier before this pandemic, which is diabetes, hypothyroidism, cardiovascular disease, and all these problems. And now to add on to disease, there is another thing which is immunity. So why are we falling prey to all these problems? Why are we suffering from all these diseases more than ever? Why are we worried about our immunity more than ever? The simple reason is that because we believe whatever is there in social media, we believe whatever is being circulated to us through our friends, whatever is printed, we believe everything, and whatever the food industries want to feed us. So they have brainwashed us to stop looking at our food in a holistic manner. खाना खाना नहीं रह गया है, बट खाने के अब नाम हो गए हैं कि ये कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स है, ये प्रोटीन है, ये विटामिन हैं. So when we eat rice, we say we are not eating rice. No, I'll not have carbs today. We usually you'll hear people saying that नहीं मैं rice नहीं खाऊंगी, ये नहीं बोलेंगे. They will say I'll not have carbs. When they are asking their kids to eat dal, they'll say if you don't eat proteins, how will you grow your height? So we have changed the names of our food to the name of the nutrients, because the food industries has taught us to look at food in the nutrient specific way instead of looking in the holistic form. Similarly, we have started looking our health also in a segregated manner with the pinhole approach of having being overweight on stuff, rather than looking at the holistic way whether we are completely and on a whole healthy or not. But health weight has become a huge parameter to judge our health. So this discrimination in the food, this discrimination of the nutrients and of your health has led to the rise of these diseases. And is the reason why we are now worried about whether our immunity is strong enough to fight against the pathogens or not, which has always been there. Now we are worried about our immunity and all. So it has I'll just talk shortly, give you a brief introduction about immunity. Like we all are born with immunity, right? We all have. Doc, I think you'll agree with me that as a child, when a child is born, the child has an innate immunity, which there are partly inherited from their parents, which is in their gene, which can be your gut bacteria and stuff. Then you develop your immunity when you start when the child feeds on the mother's milk. That is how you develop your immunity. There are acids in your stomach which help you to kill the pathogens from the food. So there is an immune system already in the body to help you protect against any microbes that enter your body if they are harmful to your body. And body has an ability to also generate and multiply the good bacteria that it wants, that are the gut bacteria that it wants to digest and assimilate the food to improve and to build up the immunity. So there is nothing specific or there is nothing different that you need to do to now build your immunity. And please remember that immunity cannot be built in a day. आज आप बाहर जाके आए, आपको लगा कि मेरा मैं बाहर में मेरा कुछ वायरस वगैरह आज मैंने कैच कर लिया होगा बिकॉज आई मेट सो एंड सो पर्सन. सो आज मैं ये काढ़ा पी लेता हूँ और ये गर्म चाय पी लिया, गर्म पानी पे आप सिप करे जा रहे हो एंड यू फील दैट ओके आई हैव डन समथिंग फ्रॉम माई इम्यूनिटी, और यू पॉप अ पिल. Lot of medicines are now available. A vitamin C, for example, people are taking, going mad with eating vitamin C daily, popping a pill daily. Not only one daily, they are even having 2 or 3 tablets daily just to feel that okay, they are doing something for the immunity. But immunity cannot be built in a day. Immunity cannot be built by overdoing anything. Immunity cannot be built by doing something which is good but just not by overdoing it. So there is immunity, you cannot build your immunity, or you will be rather harming it immunity rather than building over it. Then the other one is the acquired immunity, which is of course your vaccines and all, which we get from the time of our birth. And now the vaccine for the COVID of course is also available. That is the acquired immunity. So when we all have an innate immunity. Why do we worry about immunity? Why the immunity has gone down? Which is partly related to what I just spoke about it, that people have started segregating their food. They have started naming their food as per the nutrients rather than looking at the holistic approach of looking towards the holistic approach towards the health. And also the food industries are flooding our markets with all these stuff. There are immunity boosting ghee, there is immunity boosting milk, there is immunity boosting breads available, I don't know what not are available in the market, that because just the word immunity is now prevalent, so people are banking on it, cashing on it, and flooding the market with everything named immunity, which was earlier, if you see a few years down the line, when we were talking about only about weight loss and stuff, so the markets were flooded with fat free products. So the fat is bad, so let's flood the market with fat free products, and people started buying fat free products, the sugar free products, instead of relying on their own common sense, instead of relying on their own the food that they have been eating throughout. We started relying on what food industry is teaching us, and what they are telling us about the food and the nutrients. So we started believing that whatever is being packed, whatever is being sold to us in the market is better than what we are eating and what we are preparing in our own kitchen. Similarly, if we are eating homemade food and we are not eating a store bought medicine or a kada for the immunity, we feel we are not doing enough for the immunity. Our immunity is going to go weak. When we see people around every day, they are having one or the other kada. I'm not against kada for that matter, I'm not against kada, but I'm only here trying to say that don't overdo with this stuff. You will be rather harming your immune system, you'll be rather harming your digestive system rather than improving over it. So these all things actually just leave us confused at what to eat, what not to eat, where are we going wrong, where some if someone is saying the ghee is good for the immunity, then there is another industry which is saying no, fat are bad for your weight. So if you gain weight, your immunity will go down. So people are totally confused कि क्या करें, इसको खाएं, घी खाएं कि घी नहीं खाएं, दूध पिएं कि दूध नहीं पिएं, दूध में माइक्रोब्स हैं कि दूध में ऑक्सीटोसिन है. So it is the whole confusion about this food that has led us to such a confused state that we have stopped trusting the food that we are cooking ourselves. So a simple solution, a simple solution to all the problems, all your health problems is here: eat according to the season. So eat whatever is there in the season right now. If you all can just list down the fruits and vegetables that are available in this season, and you just can, just do a self check whether you are eating all those stuff, fruits or vegetables or not. Are you eating only few of the vegetables or fruits which have been branded for being rich in antioxidants and rich in vitamin C and stuff? So like for example, amla is of course good, but overdoing it when it is not in even in season right now, just overdoing over amla and having amla shots day in day out is not going to help you. But there are other food as well, there are other fruits as well which are equally good in vitamin C, which are in season and will help you to enhance your gut microbacteria better. Once your if your gut microbiota is better, your digestion is better, and when your digestion is better, the assimilation and absorption of the food is better. When that is better, automatically everything, the hormones and everything are prepared, are made from that food, will be made of good quality, and that will enhance your function, your body functions. So eat according to the season, eat according to the crop cycle. So whichever is there in your local area. For example, we have rice, which is common to West Bengal. So do not ditch rice for being fattening or for not being good for diabetic and stuff. It is good for every people, every person, and for all seasons. It is There are other cereals like which are local to our areas, which can be jowar. Jowar is another millet which is good for your health, and it is good for summer season as well. So you can eat those. Eat, but stay away from the packaged and processed food. These packaged and processed food, they all have certain chemicals in them. Whether even if it is written it is preservative free, you will see the packaging there are mentioned that they have food grade preservative in them. Even those type of food grade preservatives or anything that they add to it to enhance its taste and flavor, they are all chemically induced. They harm your gut bacteria, they harm your digestion, and in turn they harm your liver functions, which stops your body from optimally utilizing the nutrients that you are otherwise eating. So stop eating packaged and processed food. As a rule, do not eat anything that you have to open from the packet. That is your biscuits, be it even your digestive biscuit or anything, be your biscuits, your sauces, your breads, um, your bhujia, chanachur, etc. Anything that you chips, cold drinks, that anything that you have to open from the packet. Make it a rule that you're not eating on that. So there is one thing that just happened good in this pandemic is that people have, they have rediscovered their path towards the kitchen again. We are again, making food in the kitchen, and people are rediscovering the joy of cooking and eating together, on cooking together. And the homemade food is being laid on the table and people are enjoying that. So it's just one good outcome. So this, your homemade food is the best diet. Whenever people ask me what should I eat to stay healthy, my only answer to them is eat everything and anything that you are making at home. Even if it is pakoda, even if it is nimki, etc. If you are fond of laddus and mithai, please make it as much as possible at home and have. They will not harm you, because here when you are making at home, you know what ingredients you are putting into it. But when you are buying from the store, you don't know the quality of the ingredients. So in food and in any nutrient, the quality matters more than the quantity. So you always make sure that you're eating good quality food made at home. So avoid anything from that is packaged and processed. Read under the prints of the package. Do not go by marketing trends, like what are the current marketing trends? Gluten free, right? People who were not even who were told, who have been eating rotis since their birth, started chucking the rotis and other stuff just to go gluten free, because that a study became very prevalent that gluten, leaving gluten was going to make you lose weight and stuff. So people started giving up gluten roti and all. So do not go by all these fat diets. Do not follow any kind of restrictive diet, any diet that stops you from eating any particular food group, and or which asks you to overdo any particular fat group. For example, a keto diet which asks you to overdo on fat and not and restrict the intake of carbs altogether. So do not follow these type of fat diets. They come with a very they have a very limited scope on your health. They just are there for a time being to sell some products, just to market the some of their products in the industry so that you buy in the name of health, but they actually harm your health. So if you have been doing all these things, you can be you have been harming your immune system as well. And suddenly if you start taking curcumin tablets and giloy and stuff, suddenly if you start going overboard with all this stuff and continue doing harm to your body, otherwise you will not be building on your immunity, you will be harming on it. And last but not the least, exercise. Exercise has, it's like a double-edged sword. So it is good as well as it can harm your body as well. So good if you are doing it for 30 to 50 minutes in a day. That is the maximum, that is the minimum to the maximum time that your body needs to exercise. That is how your body, that is how long your body can take. If you're overdoing it, if you're doing it for 1.5 hour, 2 hour walking and running and stuff, you are overdoing your body, and you are, in that ways you are harming your immunity. You are weakening your immune system if you're overdoing the exercise. So always maintain a balance of doing 30 to 50 minutes of exercise, because when you exercise, you are already taxing your body. The body already sends its signal to prevent the muscles wear and tear when you are exercising, and it builds up on the muscles and all. But when you overdo it, body is not able to repair itself. So it will leave the other functions and start putting its energy on repairing the muscle wear and tear of the body, rather than building up the hormones or the other enzymes, etc. in the body. The whole energy will be gone in building up the wear and tear of the muscles. So don't overdo the exercise and don't underdo also. People have started taking exercise seriously now after this pandemic, which is good. But remember not to overdo with the exercise. So these are the very simple things that you need to do for for yourself, and your immunity will be taken care of. Believe me, there is nothing that you need to specially do for your immunity. And even if you have to do, if you do catch a simple cold and cough, and if you are taking, for example, turmeric milk or etc at night, remember it has to be taken only for a certain period. It has a medicinal value. It has to be taken for that certain period. You do not have to take हल्दी मिल्क का एक वो आया ट्रेंड आया कि हाँ हल्दी दूध पीना चाहिए रात को. लोग एक एक डेढ़ डेढ़ साल से हल्दी दूध रोज पी रहे हैं रात को. You don't have to overdo on anything. Kada road, subah sham, the first thing in the morning is kada, and the last thing that they go to bed is kada. We have started experiencing burning in the stomach, and all started developing ulcers in their stomach because of this. So don't overdo on anything. Just maintain a balance of stuff. If you are doing it, if you are taking anything for a medicinal purpose, remember to just do it for a short time and not continuously doing it. Let the body work. The body has its capability. The body can develop the antibodies on it itself when your body, your immune system is good enough to take care. But there is now, of course, that doesn't mean that you don't have to take the vaccine. Vaccine is there because we know that it is now safe to take vaccines. Everyone should get vaccinated. But otherwise, for your immunity, you really don't have to go overboard. There are so many myths in the WhatsApp groups, and that you see even about alcohol. I mean, we were just talking about alcohol some time back, that people are saying that you must take you know 60 ml of alcohol, or wine is good for heart, and 60 ml of alcohol daily is good for your health and stuff. So there is no proven studies to say that any that wine is better than whiskey, or vodka is better than um, any other alcohol, you name it. There is no such studies which has proven that. Please, uh, if you think that you are having wine and it is good for heart, it is, you're fooling yourself by having it is by having a diet coke instead of normal coke, and saying that, "Oh, okay, I did not consume a single calorie." We know that diet coke is equally harmful as a normal coke is. So don't fall for these type of gimmicks, marketing gimmicks by the food industry, which they are pushing to sell their products. And trust your traditional food. Trust the food that you are making in your kitchen. Trust the food that you have been eating since your childhood, and keep doing that, and you will be safe forever. These are just a few pictures that I have put in, just to make you aware that these are the vegetables and the fruits which are in season. Just if you can just look at it and see that, put a tick on each one if you have eaten these vegetables and fruits in this season or not. Are you eating or are you eating only few of these fruits, overdoing with some of the fruits and not eating other fruits at all? Some of my favorite fruits among here is, one is the salsas, the palm fruit, which is super delicious, available for a very short time in May, and some for few days in June it will be available. It is extremely good for your immune system. It is extreme because it is extremely good for your gut bacteria. It has an extremely cooling effect on these hot summer seasons. And another favorite is, amongst the vegetable, is अरबी कोचू, जिसको यहाँ पे बोलते हैं बंगाली में कोचू बोलते हैं. कोचू इज देयर. बेल एक अलग फाइब्रस फ्रूट है जिसके अंदर गुड फाइबर होता है. सो डोंट मिस आउट ऑन दीज फ्रूट्स वेयर दे व्हेन दे आर इन सीजन राइट नाउ. आप ये जरूर सीजन के ये फ्रूट्स खाइए, इंस्टेड ऑफ जस्ट गोइंग ओवरबोर्ड विद वन और टू काइंड्स ऑफ फ्रूट्स लाइक नींबू एंड amla and stuff. Please eat a variety of fruits and vegetables which are available in this season right now. They are full of all the nutrients and all the vitamins, all the minerals, and everything that you need to keep up your immunity in this season. You don't have to do anything additional for your immunity to boost it up. It is it your God has given you, has blessed you with with immunity. You just have to take care of it and not harm it by following fat diets and gimmicks. I'm open for questions. If there's anything that you guys would like to ask, you can put it in the chat box, comment box, and I can take up the questions, and even Doc, if you have any questions that, or there's
Mayanka,
anything that has not.
thank you for that quite to the point yet comprehensive talk about immunity and nutrition. And just to summarize what you said, I have formed this acronym called SLHE. S stands for seasonal food. That's what you mentioned. That eat according to the season. L stands for local. So wherever you may be, the local food is the best suited for that particular geographical area, weather, and climate. Third, you said is home food. Any food made at home is always superior to what we buy in the market. So that's SLH. And lastly, you said more than any other thing, exercise does help in improving the immunity. But you also mentioned that all these things have to be in a balanced tone, and excess of anything is not good. And you also mentioned not to get swayed away by the industry ads and the industry labels. Uh, World Health Organization has recently come up with this term called infodemic in conjunction with pandemic. So there is so much of a pandemic or an epidemic of misinformation going around over social media that the common people, the common person, they get bewildered as to what to do and what not to do. And you rightly said not to believe everything in print, not to believe everything in media, including media such as over whatever. I mean, Facebook or this thing. There are a lot of things going around. Yes, we know that. I have a few questions. There are comments in the comments box. Anupama Agarwal has endorsed that she loves dal sans. You mentioned dal sans, and I love too. I just had a dal sans today.
I mean, these are the also the fruits and vegetables which we need to preserve. We need to create a demand for these fruits. Otherwise, they are going to extinct in few times. Maybe our children will not even know what a thalsas is in the coming generation. So we need
Absolutely.
to create demand for these fruits so that farmers grow these fruits.
When we talk about seasonal food, I have a naughty question for you. In a state like ours, or for that matter, anywhere in the world, the people do crave for sweets, and Bengal is known for its sweets, and that's an all-season food. Obviously, you're not referring to this season food, right? It's sugar.
No, sweets, dog sweets is that sweet has a it is. I'm not against people taking sweets, or I'm not someone who stops people from taking sweets. Even if you are diabetic, there is a certain limit of sugar that you can have in a day, and if it falls within that limit, it is okay. But the thing with sweet is that when do you crave for it? Which is the time when you crave for it. People usually, even after having a full meal, they usually crave for sweets just after their lunch or after their dinner. They need a piece of sweet to curb that craving. So that if that is so, then that issue needs to be addressed. If you are craving for a sweet just after your meal, that means either your gaps between the meal is too much, or you have not eaten enough that your body still needs some more sugar to energize itself. Because when you are hungry, you obviously want to go for something sweet, because that is what body will instantly get energy from. And that is why you crave for sweet things. Rather, you will not be willing to pick up an apple when you are very hungry. You would be willing to pick up a sandesh when you're hungry, and you're so hungry that you don't even feel guilty after having it. But the thing is that when do you crave for it? If it is within the meal, if it is there, if it is planned in your menu, there is no harm in having it. And again, as I said earlier also, if you are fond of sweets, make sure that it is homemade. And if my patients and all, they are listening here, I always tell them they should have homemade laddu. There are laddus, and Indians are blessed with so many sweets for every season. Also, we are blessed with type of varieties of sweets for every season. We have a sweet when someone is sick, we have a laddu specially for them. We have laddus for lactating women, we have laddus for pregnant women, we have laddus from someone's recovering from illness. I mean, we have laddus for winters, we have laddus for summers. So uh, निकालो अपनी ये सारी ट्रेडिशनल रेसिपीज, पूछो अपनी मम्मी से कि कौन कौन सी रेसिपीज होती है, टेक दिस आउट एंड create demand for these type of sweets instead of going for a store bought chocolate and you know ice creams and stuff. So prepare it at home and have it. Enjoy your sweets.
Is it true that jaggery or gur is a good or safe sweet to have after a meal?
Um, in jaggery, see, calorie wise, if you are talking calorie wise, sugar and jaggery are similar, but jaggery is, as I said, eat according to the season. So jaggery is preferable. It's better to have it during winter season क्योंकि उसकी तासीर गर्म होती है. It is warm to the body, so it is good to have jaggery in the winters. And in summer season, sugar is a better alternative. So
Okay.
there is nothing like if something is better than the other. It is the season, and of course the dish that you are making. If the dish demands sugar in it, you have to put sugar in it.
A
Don't
couple of
substitute.
questions about lifestyle related to nutrition that people have been following ever since the lockdown. Like average person would wake up in the morning and drink 2 glasses of warm water with lemon and honey squeezed in, mixed in it, supposed to improve immunity. Now, is there anything special about warm water versus cold water to improve immunity? Lot of people I know have stopped drinking cold water and always drink a little warm water ever since the lockdown started, thinking that that is going to be good for the immunity.
See, all these things, they actually bank on the fear that is being created. So there is no scientific cause that warm water is better than cold water. A simple, if you ask me, a simple ghade ka pani, matke ka pani is best for any season. It is at right optimal temperature for your body to quench your thirst, as well as for your body. If you are drinking too much of warm water throughout the day, I don't think so it is going to help you in these hot summer days. You are rather going to feel more warm after that, and then you will be doing something. If your body is warm, you will be doing something else to counter counter effect that. So I don't think so it makes sense for you to go overboard with anything. Yes, if you're having warm water in the morning, if you have digestive issues or something, if it helps you to relieve yourself in the morning, if you are constipated, then it is okay. But do not have it throughout the day, until and unless, of course, if you have caught a cold or something. These are all therapeutic things which are to be done for a specific reason, for a specific amount of time, not to be continued throughout.
Yeah, talking about continuity, I know of people who, ever since the lockdown started last year in end of March, have been having amla juice or haldi decoction every day for more than a year now. What do you think? I mean, you have already answered this during the presentation.
Yes, I did say, see, amla is one of the best source of vitamin C that we have. It is very healthy, I agree. But it is also season specific. It is available in winter season. So in winter season, when it is available, and there is a reason why Mother Nature has some fruits for it that particular season. In winters, there is need of amla that time, so that you can you if you have preserved the amla by making murabbas and jams and stuff and what churn and all उससे बनाया है आपने आंवले का, and then you are consuming it right now, it is okay. But don't overgo with the juice, because there are other, you'll be missing out on other fruits which are equally good in vitamin C and other nutrients which are required for this season. जैसे मैंने आपको बोला तालसास, तालसास is again one of a very good, and it is a very juicy fruit which helps to maintain the electrolyte balance. आपको सनस्ट्रोक नहीं होते हैं. विटामिन सी के लिए आप इस टाइम पे आप आम पन्ना ले सकते हो, आप बेल शरबत ले सकते हो. वाई टू मिस आउट ऑन दीज थिंग्स? अगर आप उसके साथ साथ आंवला जूस भी ले रहे हो तो यू आर ओवर डूइंग इट. उसकी जरूरत नहीं है. बॉडी की रिक्वायरमेंट जितनी है, अगर आप सीजन का आप एक बेल शरबत आपने ले लिया, आपने आम पन्ना ले लिया, आपने ताल सास ले लिया, आपने कोकोनट वाटर ले लिया, दीज आर ऑल, दे आर ऑल, मैंगो ले लिया, आपको विटामिन सी मिलेगा जितना बॉडी को जरूरत है. इस सीजन के हिसाब से जितना जरूरत है उतना आपको मिलेगा.
Talking about vitamin C, we all know, you know, I know that the medical shops have been making great business over the last 1 year or so, and there are so many patients and people I meet who have been taking vitamin C, 500 milligrams of it every day over the last 1 year, which we all know is a waste, because the body does not store excess vitamin, and you don't get excess immunity if you take excess vitamins. So it's a total waste. As you rightly said, yes, if you do have a bout of cold and cough, you can take vitamin C for a short period, but not day in and day out. Likewise, people have been taking multivitamin, healthy people taking multivitamin every day. And now there's a fad and oversales of zinc, 50 milligram tablet. Yes, and that is also
toxicity of zinc has started. People are getting toxic of
it's
zinc.
a waste, and even when one does get a COVID or mild fever, all that one needs is a simple paracetamol, and one does not need all these fancy drugs.
Yes, it's not required until unless you're deficient of some vitamin or a nutrient. If you have, if there is clinically something is required, then it is fine. But you don't have to overdo with, and you don't have to eat it for the fear कि मुझे कोविड हो जाएगा इसलिए मैं ये सब खा लूं. Doesn't make sense. नहीं, उससे नहीं होगा. You will be जिंकोविट खाने से आप अपना मुंह का टेस्ट स्पॉइल कर लोगे. जो बाकी चीजें खा रहे हो वो भी नहीं खा पाओगे.
So there are a few questions which have lined up in the comments box. Once again, I'll start with the latest one first. Anupama Agarwal wants to know, how is lemon with warm water? We have already talked about it just now.
Yeah, Anupama ji, lemon with warm water as first thing in the morning is only going to start you are going to start your day with acidic medium. It is not the best thing to start your day with. आप नींबू का लेमन इन वार्म वाटर नहीं, आप नॉर्मल नींबू का शिकंजी आप पीजिए दिन में. जब when you are out and आप धूप में से बाहर आते हो और you want something to drink, instead of going for these cokes and all stuff, these packaged and aerated drinks, नींबू का शिकंजी is the easiest drink that you can have when you want to quench your thirst and to prevent you from the heat stroke. So nothing warm water में नहीं, normal water में.
So nimbu, turmeric, garlic, ginger, methi, so many of these things are made into.
सब चीजें वर्क करती भी नहीं है. मेथी और आप हल्दी अगर आप ऐसे ही पानी में भिगा के, if you are taking the first thing is मेथी का पानी या हल्दी का पानी आप ले रहे हो, please remember that these seeds, they are supposed to be taken in a very small quantity in a day, and they need some fat medium for its nutrients to get absorbed in the body. अदरवाइज इन सब और इनको कुक करना पड़ता है. अगर आप इनको कुक नहीं करते हो, चाहे आप ग्रीन वेजिटेबल्स को अगर आप कुक नहीं करते हो, इन सब के अंदर एंटी न्यूट्रिएंट्स ज्यादा होते हैं न्यूट्रिएंट्स से. इफ यू डोंट कुक देम, दोस एंटी न्यूट्रिएंट्स विल रादर स्टॉप द डाइजेशन ऑफ other nutrients that are in your body. So you have to cook. You don't have to ड्रिंक ये पालक का जूस और लौकी का जूस एंड धनिया का जूस, ये लिवर क्लेंस हो जाएगा और ये मेरा डिटॉक्स ड्रिंक, आज ये डिटॉक्स ड्रिंक पे है, आज कभी वो डिटॉक्स ड्रिंक पे. प्लीज, योर वाटर इज द सिंपलेस्ट डिटॉक्स ड्रिंक एंड योर बेस्ट ऑर्गन ऑफ डिटॉक्स इज योर लिवर. इट इज केपेबल ऑफ डूइंग इट्स वर्क ऑन इट्स ओन विदाउट सच smoothies and drinks being fed. It only puts pressure on your liver. So don't do all this.
One of our viewers, Mr. Jogendra Yadav, has asked a question that what are the fruits we take in this season, and can we take mango daily?
Yes, absolutely, Jogendra ji. You can have one mango daily. If because अभी और कैलकाटा के मैंगो तो आपको अवॉइड करने भी नहीं चाहिए, इतने यम मैंगोज आते हैं. गुलाब खस is one of my favorite, and अभी लंगड़ा आएगा. And we have mangoes which we get before rains, and there are a variety of mangoes that we get after the rains. So please enjoy the mangoes and have all the local varieties of mangoes that we get here. I have seen people going crazy for Alphonsus over here, but I'm a huge, huge fan of Kolkata ka Himsagar, and which is complete failure Alfonso ke aage. So please eat all the local varieties that you have. Other fruits that you can eat in this season, जो मैंने अभी slides में भी दिखाए थे, लीची आ रही है सीजन में. तालसाज है. Talsas is one of the viewer is also asking what is talsas. Talsas is in English it is known as palm fruit. तो आप वो पाम फ्रूट लीजिए, आप कोकोनट वाटर लीजिए, आप बनाना प्लीज. बनाना इज ऑल टाइम सीजन में होता है. जैक फ्रूट अभी पका हुआ जैक फ्रूट आएगा हमारे यहाँ पे. We are blessed to have jackfruit and mango type of fruits in our area, which are so nutritious and so good for even if you're diabetic, you can have. So jackfruit, mango, all these fruits you can have. Every fruit that is available right now. और क्या वो आ रहा है this what do you call that, wax apple. Sorry, I'm taking an English name of wax apple. Jamrul. I just
Rose apple. It's called rose apple.
yeah, rose apple. So take that. Bale अभी मैंने बोला बेल लीजिए. All
So
these fruits are very
these
nice which are
fruits,
in season.
are these fruits safe for diabetics also?
Absolutely. There is it is an obsolete thing that there is a specific diabetic diet or there is a specific heart disease diet. Every diet has to be diet ऐसी होनी चाहिए. As I say, it is a way of life. It has to be something which can be taken throughout the life for everyone. सब आप चार लोग घर में हो, एक को डायबिटीज, एक को हार्ट पेशेंट है, चार लोगों के लिए चार तरह का खाना नहीं बनेगा, एक ही तरह का खाना बनेगा. एंड इट्स जस्ट सेफ फॉर एवरीवन. एवरीथिंग डन इन मॉडरेशन इज गुड. Don't go overboard with anything.
Okay, there is a question from Mr. Himalay Tehseen about food advice for diabetics type 1 and type 2. But Mayanka, I think today's discussion is limited to immunity and COVID-19 in the context of COVID-19. Perhaps we can avoid this question here and we can answer him on a person-to-personal basis later on
Sure,
through the
sure.
comments box. Then there have been questions about various concoctions of homeopathic, Ayurvedic, and other concoctions which claim to boost immunity. And what about claims by reputed newspaper, magazines, and news channels? Yes, we have already spoken about infodemic, and you have already mentioned that everything which is in print or in the media need not necessarily be true. And I would
Please find
advise
out the source of the information. Whichever
exactly.
information you are believing, always look for the source. कहाँ से वो information आई है? Who is passing that information to you? Always
Yes, so
see the reference.
I'll suggest that one can go to the WHO site and click on infodemic, and there is a beautiful poster on, as you said, to how to check on the source, the authenticity, and everything about every small any information we get on WhatsApp or see on Facebook, and not just forward it believing that it may be true. One should check the authenticity before forwarding such messages. Yes. I think we have covered more or less.
Someone was also asking about mustard oil or something. I guess mustard oil is, if someone has
Oh
any more
yes,
questions,
there is a
please
question
just tell
from
me.
Mr. Gautam. Mustard oil, yes.
So mustard oil is very good. It is our own local olive oil, as I say. ये हमारा खुद का olive oil है. So stop. Don't believe in the fact that कोई चीज जैसे olive oil अगर वो महंगा है और बाहर से आया है तो that will be better. And कोई चीज local है और हमारे बगल के शॉप से आई है तो which is inferior. Don't think that way. Mustard oil is very good. And another very good cooking medium is ghee. So anything any oil that comes from the seed that naturally has oil is the right oil.
Okay. So actually, there is a belief among many people that cooking in mustard oil protects against COVID-19, which obviously there is no scientific data to prove that. But as you mentioned, mustard oil is a good oil. And talking about oil, I will also probably take the discussion to a small topic of breakfast, which I've learned from you over the past few years. That a lot of people eat a lot of Western diet and Western food, thinking they are good for the health and good for immunity. But as you have taught me, and you keep on preaching, nothing is better than local homemade Indian food.
Absolutely. अपना घर का rice flakes is much better than corn flakes. आप you can have dahi chira is that is one of the best breakfasts for summers. You can have dahi chura, you can have make poha, suji ka upma, or even simple sabzi roti, which is common in Bengal here. Sabzi roti for breakfast is good breakfast. You can have egg if you are a non-vegetarian, or you can have sattu if you are a vegetarian along with that. So it is everything is there in your kitchen. You don't need to take anything, no protein supplements, no vitamin supplements, nothing is required.
Good. Thank you, Mayanka. I think we have had a detailed discussion on this issue. And if there is nothing much more to add, may I say a few concluding remarks?
So
Or
yes, again,
would you like to say a few concluding remarks before I say something?
you already summarized it for me, Doc. So that yes, eat homemade food. Your homemade food and your seasonal food are your best bet against COVID right now. Stay at home, stay safe, wear your mask. These are the best precautions that you can take to save protect yourself from COVID. And do not fall for any fat diets, or do not fall for any marketing gimmicks to boost your immunity. There is nothing that will help you improve your immunity, or because you're all born with the immunity. You just
Right.
have to
As
protect it.
very rightly said about taking precautions. See, no amount of immunity can make a person a superman or a superwoman. Immunity has its limited value provided you are living a sensible life and a balanced life with food
Absolutely.
as well as exercise and your lifestyle. So there is absolutely no substitute that wearing an appropriate mask at all time outdoors and even indoors if you are with more than a few people inside one room. Please continue to wear a mask even if you have got vaccinated. And there is no substitute to maintaining a safe physical distance from others. And during this time of restricted lockdown lifestyle, go outdoors only if you need to, essentially. Otherwise, stay at home and do get vaccinated as and when it's available because vaccine does provide a good amount or proven amount of immunity. Don't go into hearsay. Don't get swayed away by reports of side effects and all that. Every medicine has side effect. Vaccine is no different. Side effects are extremely rare, and one need not worry about that. Go ahead and get vaccinated for your immunity. Right?
Yes, absolutely. Very well summed up.
Once again, thank you, Mayanka. We had a very good
Thank you.
discussion. Look
Thank you
forward
for
to
having me, and thank you everybody for patient hearing. I'm glad that many of the people I know are my patients and all are here. They're watching the show, so I'm so glad.
many of them will be able to see it later because this video will be archived in on Facebook on Sunetra's page and as well it will be archived on Sunetra's YouTube page. I would encourage people to go to a YouTube page of Sunetra Family Eye Care Center and have a look at all the previous videos. They are all very informative. Please subscribe to our channel so you will receive notifications. Thank you for being with us and bye bye.
Thank you.